Sir Jim Ratcliffe has reportedly continued the cost-cutting measures at Manchester United by cancelling a £40,000 a year charitable donation that supports the club legends, players that plied their trade, wore the red shirt of Manchester United in an era where you rarely became wealthy, let alone a millionaire. And this money was used to help support them through their lives, pay bills, pay gas and electric, pay for food. And it has been reported, and I will add at the beginning, by the Sun newspaper. So there is the possibility that there has been some misinformation in this, as we know. However, I felt it was very important to address. There have been a number of cost-cutting measures by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Inos to which I've agreed with. If there are people employed that are not offering value, making the club money or saving them money, I understand the need to remove them. Doesn't make it something I enjoy or like, but I can understand it. I understand increasing ticket prices, but they've certainly gone too far with the volume or the percentage of increase they've applied. You look at the Christmas bonuses, I don't see how it makes a great deal of difference, £100 down to the difference between a £100 bonus and a £40 gift voucher. That £60 additional, that for me is wrong, especially if this is staff you've kept at the club because you think they're doing a good job and they're needed. Cancelling the Christmas party at £250,000, that didn't particularly bother me too much. That's a lot of money to spend on a party for a failing club. But this hits a little different. This hits a little different to me because it's something that supports the legends who helped build the club, helped make it the beacon that it is. And I can't for the life of me think of a justifiable reason for cutting this £40,000 a year donation. You're not talking 400,000, you're not talking 4 million, you're not talking 40 million or 4 billion. You are talking £40,000, which is pocket. Himself. Fair enough. If the club's got to cut it, between the board of directors, they could find 40 grand down the back of their sofa. For me personally, with a club in an absolutely horrid situation because of years of neglect, years of malpractice, this is such an own goal. This is such a disappointing and horrible piece of procedure from Inos. This is on the backdrop of so many other pieces of news at the moment that are damaging for us, and so many of them I don't actually think have any validity. It's criticism of the manager, criticism of the Rashford situation, criticism of things to which I think they're doing right in terms of trying to install an identity in terms of the first team, looking to move players on that are not up to standard, getting rid of the high-paid players who are not delivering. There's loads of things they're doing that are right, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't call out the mistakes. And I hate to say this, this is not whataboutery, this isn't point scoring. If you take it that way, you're not listening. Liverpool fans, by and large, have been happy with lots of things that FSG have done. They've delivered them Champions Leagues. They gave them some of the greatest players in the history of their football club. They helped them win the Premier League. They've built a very stable footballing foundation. But there's been a number of times, whether it be the furlough debacle, ticket price increases, etc., the Super League, and many other things that FSG and, I can't remember his name now, Henry something. I forgot his name, but John Henry. Whatever it is that he's done, they've called out the bad elements. They've protested them. They've fought for the right things to be done. And they've had a lot of good turnaround on that. And that's something Man United fans should take note of. If you agree with 8 things that Ineos have done and 2 they don't, but one of those things is, for me, hideous such as this, you should be standing up and making yourselves be counted. They can rectify it, they can turn it around, but this must be called out because it is nothing short of a disgrace. And I don't know if you've been on social media today, but Mark Goldbridge has offered to help raise those funds and cover those funds. The Football Terrace and I have also committed to being part of that to ensure that these legends of our football club are taken care of. And as and when more comes out about that, I'm sure we'll be able to share that with you. And one of the reasons, if we go away from the decision and the people it impacts, one of the reasons why this is such a stupid own goal is when you look at all the articles currently being produced. Talks of Amorim admits he could be sacked. And the media have jumped upon this saying, is he on the brink? They're applying even more pressure to him winning every single game, which is already highly pressured, but there's even more being added to it now. You have Amorim stories here about him banishing Marcus Rashford when he needs him most. Man United's forward has been left out of the past 4 games, but the adventure he offers would add a cutting edge to the team right now. I mean, ignoring how bad Rashford has been for the last 18 months, how poor he's performed this season, history is being rewritten here. Big articles today that Amorim was never actually nowhere near the number 1 choice in the summer, not the number 1 choice in November. It's a gamble. It's all a mess. And there could be some validity to these stories, and you may believe them. And if you do, let me know in the comments section. I'd love to understand how you see this scenario. But this is where you've got Rasmus Højlund DMing people annoyed that they say he's not good enough for the club. I think in this moment, where the pressure is high, the media is having a field day. And by the way, we'd have had different types of stories, but a similar focus and attention had we had the Qataris, had we had the Saudis. Anybody that takes over our club was always going to suffer this level of scrutiny. You have to avoid these own goals. You have to avoid these absolute PR disasters, as in the Højlund situation. You have to ensure that you are a strong, united unit as best as you can be, that you are fully behind the manager, that when you make mistakes, they can be quickly, efficiently, and correctly rectified. But most importantly, cutting off a very small amount of money that I think doesn't make that big of a difference to club legends that help get us to where we need to be. That's so different from getting rid of 100 members of staff who are sitting around all day twiddling their thumbs, not producing anything. I understand that to a certain degree, but these legends a lot of them gave themselves physically, the best years of their lives to this football club, and we need to do better by them. It's a massive own goal. I can't defend it, and I won't defend it in any capacity. So I wanted to just take this time to say that. Maybe this message gets to Inos. Maybe they see it. If more of us do this, I'm not going to get abusive. I'm not going to get nasty. I'm not going to throw out pejoratives. I'm not going to write off everything that they're trying to do because of a terrible and a bad mistake. They have the opportunity to rectify this, and I really do hope that they do. But as ever, I want to get your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this in the comments section below, because it is a bad look for Manchester United, and not because it's bad PR per se. It's a bad look because it is a terrible thing that we have done to our club legends here. I'd also love to know, Chelsea fans, Arsenal, any members of the top 6, anyone who supports a team out of the top 6, what types of things do your club do charity-wise for your previous legends? I would love to know. I'd love to understand it, because maybe we can use that as a base to really push that at Ineos to ensure that our legends are looked after, that are protected, that we honour what has come before us. Do me a favour, I know it isn't a great story, but please hit the like button and share this to get this message out there. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you soon.